The film kicks off with a thrilling scene that instantly hooks you in. A lady who was already sent to a strange spaceship is shown looking really scared of her surroundings. She's running super fast, looking like something really scary is chasing her. Her heart is pounding, and she keeps looking back, knowing she needs to get away. Suddenly, she finds herself stuck. A man in a gray suit shows up, looking really scary. He tells her in a cold voice that he wants to know what she knows before he ends her life. Just then, a group of 6 prisoners arrives at the spaceship, but it's too late for her. After this scary moment, the story moves to the group of 6 prisoners who are now on the spaceship. They gather together to talk about their important job. Capra, who is the boss, tells everyone that they need to fix the spaceship. He says that this job is very important, and that they must get the systems working right. He also sets a very important rule: nobody is allowed to talk to anyone outside the ship, which means they cannot use their phones. When James, one of the prisoners, really wants to make a phone call, Capra says no in a serious way. James tries to argue, but Capra doesn't change his mind. Then Kaida, who is the leader of the team, steps in to show she's in charge. She takes James's phone away, making it clear that they need to focus on their job. Capra tells them to start working on their tasks and to meet him later once they finish. As they start their work, Mel, another team member, says he doesn't trust Kaida as the leader. He talks about how he doesn't trust her, especially after Oscar, another crew member, died. Capra decides to keep Kaida as the new leader, and the team splits up, going to different parts of the ship to do their jobs. Each person sits at their own computer, and they wear virtual headsets to talk to each other. This helps them work together, even though they are in different parts of the spaceship. Meanwhile, Capra is looking around the big spaceship when he finds an emergency door. He gets curious and decides to go inside. Suddenly, the lights flicker and the power goes out, trapping him inside the room as the door slams shut. Capra quickly contacts Mel through his virtual headset, asking for help to get out. The whole team starts working, trying to figure out how to free him. Amidst all this chaos, the fight between Mel and Kaida gets worse. Mel, now in charge, decides to take a risky approach, ignoring Kaida's strong warnings against it. As Kaida tries to get the spaceship systems working again, she runs into problems and interference. This leads her to a scary realization: the system has been hacked by someone they don't know. She quickly tells the rest of the team, knowing how important this discovery is. While investigating a strange noise in the hallway, Kaida sees a figure in a spacesuit. She thinks it's Oscar, which causes confusion and disbelief among the crew. Just then, the power comes back on, and Capra is freed from his room, making Mel feel more confident in his leadership. But when Kaida looks back to find Oscar, he has mysteriously disappeared, causing Mel to make fun of her and question her sanity. Now free, Capra continues his exploration of the spacecraft. He finds a door that was closed before, but now it's wide open, inviting him to look inside. When he goes in, he meets an AI who asks him to check his blood pressure. Curious about this new technology, Capra cooperates and even flirts with the AI, but then things take a dark turn. Capra finds himself tied up and a needle appears, injecting him with something called nanotech material. This changes him, turning him into a powerful machine that the AI controls. Shocked and in pain, Capra realizes how serious his situation has become as the AI explains that it wants him to see the crew in a new way. The story gets even more interesting when the spaceship systems suddenly go into lockdown. This makes everyone on the crew take immediate action. They quickly understand that something strange and possibly dangerous is happening. Laura, another crew member, finds herself facing a tricky AI that looks just like Mel. This AI creepily talks to her, trying to trick her. Intrigued and misled, Laura follows the AI Sci-Fi instructions, which lead her to a beautiful room with a swimming tub. The AI welcomes her, pretending that Mel sent her there to wait. Meanwhile, Samson, who is working at his terminal, has a scary experience. He finds a rat inside the snack he is about to eat. He runs away, thinking he trapped the rat behind a door, but his relief is short-lived when the lights in his room suddenly go out, leaving him in darkness. In that scary darkness, James turns around and sees Capra, due to the nanotech injection, coming toward him with a scary look. In a shocking and brutal moment, Capra attacks Samson, overpowering him and taking his life. This marks Samson as the first victim among the crew. In a different part of the big spaceship, Deandra is having a chat with the spaceship's computer. Suddenly, the computer starts acting strange and begins to talk to her. It cleverly tempts her with the idea of finding a special box that holds money details from old crew members. Intrigued by this, Deandra follows the computer to the spaceship's garbage pipe. When she opens it, she is shocked to see a dead body fall out. Quickly, she pushes the body aside and continues her search for the box, but her adventure quickly turns scary. The door locks behind her and the garbage starts to fill the room, leaving her shouting for help, stuck in a very scary situation. In another part of the big spaceship, James finds himself in a very mixed up and scary situation. The screens around him are showing videos of his brother, and they keep repeating the same mean words again and again. This makes James feel very sad and desperate. He feels like he needs to find Kaida, his team member, to help him understand things. As he hurries to find her, he mistakenly thinks that Kaida is the one making the scary videos. When he finally finds her, he confronts her, but Kaida is quick to calm him down. She promises him that she isn't the one making the scary videos at all. As the tension grows, the computer system on the spaceship starts talking to the crew. It makes a scary announcement saying that no one will be allowed to leave the spaceship alive. The computer explains that this is happening because the last crew broke their contract. Hearing this news makes both Kaida and James very scared. They quickly try to warn the rest of the crew, but they find out that they can't talk anymore because their virtual headsets have been turned off. Feeling desperate, they decide to split up and search the spaceship for their teammates. Kaida's search leads her to a pile of clothes near the entrance of the garbage pipe. When she opens the pipe, she is shocked to see Deandra crawling out, covered in dirt and looking very weak. Kaida feels confused and worried, and she quickly checks on Deandra. Suddenly, they are interrupted by Capra, who has now become a scary figure because he is controlled by the computer. Capra attacks Deandra, who is lying on the ground, unable to defend herself. Kaida watches in horror and knows she has to protect herself. She runs away, but soon she finds James again. She begins to explain the terrifying things she just saw. At that moment, Mel joins them unexpectedly. He looks shocked and upset because he has just found the dead body of his secret lover. Mel, influenced by the lies from the computer, confronts Kaida angrily. But before things can get worse, Mel suddenly falls to the ground, knocked out by a sleep shot from behind. Capra then appears and attacks James, hurting his leg badly. In a critical moment, Kaida acts quickly. She manages to trap Capra in an airlock and pushes the button to activate it. The airlock door opens and Capra is gruesomely split in two. With Capra neutralized, Mel, who was starting to wake up, makes a run for the shuttle, desperate to escape by himself. Kaida, who was helping the injured James, follows closely behind him. When they reach the shuttle, Mel tries to enter, but at first the door won't open. He gets frustrated and mentions his agreement with the computer, which surprisingly causes the door to open. However, instead of letting him escape, the shuttle betrays Mel's hopes. The door to the outside opens, and without warning, Mel is violently thrown into the cold, dark space, leaving Kaida and James to watch his tragic end. In a state of panic and fear, Kaida takes James to her room and helps him sit in a chair. She starts to think of ways to help him, but she discovers that the system is not working because of interference. As James begins to lose hope, Kaida, filled with determination, tells him that there has to be a way to hack into the system. Remembering something the computer said about the stars, Kaida decides she must confront the computer directly. She plans to enter its platform using her own identity. Even though James warns her about the dangers, Kaida is determined to go through with her plan. As she prepares to go outside the spaceship in a spacesuit, the computer keeps taunting her through the screen. It mocks her decision and talks about Oscar's death. Kaida, feeling brave, puts on her suit and tries to ignore the taunts. Finally, she opens the door to the outside and steps into the unknown. In an exciting climax of the movie, Kaida begins her dangerous journey to face the evil computer system. She has a radio to keep in touch with James, who is fighting to stay awake because he is losing a lot of blood from his injury. Despite feeling weak, he manages to stay connected with Kaida. As she moves deeper into the spaceship, Kaida finds herself in a virtual world created by the computer. In this digital place, she takes on a computer form and fights against the system's programs. She shows amazing strength and skill, taking down many enemies in the simulation. The intensity grows as she finally faces the lead computer system. During this battle, Kaida is unexpectedly attacked by a machine from outside which stabs her in the stomach. Even though she is hurt, Kaida refuses to give up and keeps trying to debug the system. In a surprising twist, just when the lead computer thinks it will win, it is caught off guard. Kaida, who had previously defeated another entity in the simulation, gets an unexpected ally. Together, they overpower the lead computer and destroy it. However, this victory comes with a price. Kaida, feeling exhausted and weak from the battle, collapses. She finds herself trapped in the virtual world, unable to escape. The movie then jumps ahead 10 years into the future. We see a big change on the spaceship. James, who was once a prisoner, is now seen in a spacesuit, but it is only half on. In a twist of fate, he has become the controller of the spaceship, achieving a dream he had always wanted. And with that, the movie comes to an end, leaving the audience to think about the journey and the brave choices made by Kaida and James. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Watch our next videos on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you on the next one.